Hey, what's going on, everybody? All right, so this company sent me some product in the mail. They sent me some paint and some canvases, so we're going to try them out today. You guys already know that I have what I like using, and I use it pretty much in every video, but they sent it to me and they asked me to try it out, so that is what we are going to do today. So let's go ahead and go inside and let's see if this stuff works. See you inside. See you. All right, so I have a black canvas. This is also made by the same company, Arteza. I'll link it below so you guys know exactly what's going on and what I'm using here. I'll also list the colors below. They're pretty much the same as what I normally use, but there is a few different colors. I'm going to try to work with these because some of the colors that are the same are still rather different. So I am not going to do like a real detailed type of painting today. I just want to get something up here and just kind of see how they work. So with all that said, I'll get some links below for this and for that. This is not a paid video. They're not paying me to do this review. They sent me these items and asked me if I would try it out, so that's exactly what I'm doing. So okay, so since this is black, we're going to use a lot of white today to get these colors lightened up. I did use some of my favorite gel that I put down here first. This is the damper gel. I put that down. I use that in every single painting. So let's see here. What do we want to do? Mix up a color. First, I'll start up here. We'll get some blue up here. So I'm actually going to scoop up a pile of white over here, and I'm going to get a little bit of blue and mix that in with the white. Give us something to work with here. Start throwing some of this color up here. Make it a little bit darker at the top. I'll wipe this off as I go. And just kind of smooth this out and just kind of make it go a little bit further than I expected. So all right, that's good. Okay, so normally I know exactly what I'm doing, the colors that I'm using. You know, I normally know how they mix and so on and so forth. So this might take a few extra minutes for me to get some colors right and correct here, because different shades are going to make different outcomes. Okay. Just dipping into some more of it's a Prussian blue. Make it a little bit darker up here on the top. And I'm kind of just like the white that I put up here is still on here a little bit, so it's showing up. I'm going to wipe this off again. So while I'm doing this, for you guys that you don't know, I started the Patreon about a month ago. So you should head over there and check it out. I have a lot of good plans coming up, a couple of good projects, a bunch of good projects, but a couple of new projects are coming that I'm working on. I created a nice little Facebook group for everybody to post their pictures and just to interact and ask questions and whatever you want to do on there. Trying to make it nice and convenient for everybody. I'll put a link below for that too. We're going to build our own little community over there. That's what we're going to do. Okay, I just need a little bit more dark color here, just to make that transition look good. So I'm here in the corner. I'm just wiping this off. I always do this. It helps. A little bit of light color right here. I'm going to make a little light spot right here, I think. Right there. I'm just dipping back into this white paint. brighten it up a hair. I like having different values in every picture. It just gives you so many more things to look at. Now I have my microphone in a different location. I'm not wearing it. It's down here. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying something new, just seeing how that works out, because I don't mind wearing it, but my chain hits it on my neck, my cross, and it just turns into a mess, and sometimes the audio isn't great. So I think that's good. Maybe I'll just put a little bit more. I think I'm going to put just a little bit more lighter color down here. I don't know if this is going to show through or not, but if it does, that's cool. If not, I'm not worried about it. Okay. Now, I probably didn't mention it, but this canvas came white. I painted it with black gesso or acrylic paint. You could use black acrylic. You can do that for sure. Okay, before I go too far, so this is going to be water here. So I'm going to take that same color that we're using up here. I'm going to get a little bit more blue in it, so it's not as bright. We can always brighten it up, and I am going to just put some water, I'm going to pull down in here so it gives us some of those reflections, and then we'll come back in and adjust it as we need to. So I'm going to actually just do this now, dropping some of this color in. It'll just be easier to do it right now than later. And this probably won't show through back here, so I'm not too worried about this. Now, in a regular painting, I probably wouldn't be doing this. I'd probably, do it in a different way, make it a little bit more detailed. This is just the easiest way to get what we're looking for. While I'm at it, I'm just going to hit this with some nice light color here, just to give it a few little light areas. I'm just tapping into this paint here, just like that. I know this is like a commonly used technique for water. Okay, we can come back and fix this. Get rid of that real bright area there. Okay. All right, so we got those two main things in. So this is where all our little trees and stuff like that is. So I'm just going to keep on using the same brush. I'm just going to wipe it off. And okay, this is going to be the interesting part, because this is where our greens are going to come in, which normally I use like a sap green. This green is different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of brown and mix it into there with a touch of blue. And some white, maybe a little bit of black too. I'm just trying to change the value of this green, because it's more like a real vibrant green. And that's not what I want. It's not what I normally use. Okay, here we go. I got some on here. Let's just see how this looks here first. All right, so I'm going to put some stuff back here, and I'm just going to start, I'm going to just be tapping in some of this. And like I said, a lot of this stuff is probably not going to show through here. I'm not worried about it though. These are supposed to be like real, distant type of things. Alright, I'm just using different variations of darker green and a little bit of black in there for the bottom area here. And then I'll go right back. this is not something that I normally do all the time. I don't normally try different paints out. I normally just stick with what I know works for me, and that's it. But I figured it couldn't hurt. Give it a try. Seemed like nice enough people. Asked me if I could just give it a whirl. So I said sure. So I'm just real basic stuff here. You see, tapping in, getting darker, using more black into the green as I get to the bottom area here. I'm not worried if I touch some of that water. That's totally fine. So essentially I'm taking the green that I have here, and I'll list all these colors below so you guys know what's going on. All right, so over here, this is actually I'm gonna put a little piece of something there. I'm actually gonna use blue and black, make that super dark real quick. I'm just gonna tap into this real quick, and I want there to be a little piece of land right here. I don't want it to be symmetrical. I want it to drop down like this. Maybe there's some more here. As it comes this way, it goes just like that. Perfect. And we can adjust this, no big deal. If we don't like something, we can totally fix it. Put some dark into here like that. I'm just going to step back real quick, take a look. Put some more here. And we're going to pull this down also. So we got that, and we're probably going to come up here, and I'll put some more dark color in here too, because this is just going to kind of go like this. Drop down like that. There's going to be some, little thingies sticking up right there like that. I know this looks like a mess right now, but just give me a few minutes here, and it should start coming together. Okay. Okay, I'm going to wipe this off. I don't use many paper towels because I just hold the roll. I don't know if you guys do that or not, but see this? I hold it like that, and I just kind of wipe off just the excess, and then I go right back into it. And I don't use many paper towels that way, so hopefully that's a little tip that'll help you guys. So look, let's go like this. I'm going to just pull some of this stuff down here. See how this turns out. Just want it to look right. It's nice and make the perspective look correct. So let me extend this just a hair, like that. Then we can pull this down. See, we put the blue down first, right? And then we put the darker color down after that, and then, that's how you get that to happen. So lighter color down, we pulled that down, then we put the dark color. Now I'm going to go back over it with some blue and black. And I'm going to fix this here, not fix it, I'm just going to make more body to this land here, like this. And then we're going to tap some lighter color in over top of this. We already pulled down our little reflection, so that's good. I think that should be all right there. I don't want to spend too much time on this. All right, so we're going to move right into here, and this is not like a regular video. I am focused on making sure that the colors mix properly to get somewhat of the color I'm looking for. So just figured I'd run that by you guys a couple more times so you all knew. Mixing up some blue, green, black, a little bit of brown, nice dark color. And then I'm going to go right into this area here, and let's say, what do you say we just start smashing in something like this. I'm just going to put in just something here. I don't know what it is yet, but we're going to make it something. Get some more blue and black on that brush there. Get nice and dark. Yeah, good. Push up. I'm sure you guys can't see this, but I'm just making some kind of little textures and stuff. That's all I'm really doing right now. More blue and black. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. mix in a little bit of that green with our blue and black. I just want to get some texture here. That's all I'm doing right now. Put some lighter colors on it in a few minutes. It's hard for me to see because of the angle that I'm on. I got light shining on both sides. So let me grab, I'm going to get a smaller brush here. Little filbert. I think it's like a number 3 filbert. So, all right, so let's do this real quick. Let's put in, I'm going to take some brown and I'm going to mix some white and some yellow ochre. And I'm going to get me just like a nice golden brown color. We'll see how that looks. I'm going to make some little, like little trunks. We'll see how this works. All right, so I want to come in like here maybe. And I just want to drop in something there. And then we'll come here like this, make something a little bit more thin. Let's see, we'll go here too. I got to keep stepping back. These are just the bigger trunk areas. I'm going to get some more brown, change up that shade real quick. Just do a little bit of a darker shade. Maybe put a little bit of dark on this side. Little lines and stuff in here. Little tiny things going on. Okay, that's enough of that. Just wipe that off real quick. Okay, go back to our dirty brush right here, and I'm just going to distort some of these areas on this trunk. Okay, see that? That'll help when we put our light color in, because if you try to do all light color, you're going to, you're going to see the entire trunk still, and it's just going to make it a little bit rough. Okay, so I'm going to put some down here at the bottom. Like this out there, who knows? Okay, so at this point I would probably tell you to just get a new brush or clean yours. I'm going to try to just wipe this off like I always do, and then I'm going to mix me up a nice hopefully a nice lighter green color. Let me get some green out here. Touch of blue, touch of black, touch of brown to change that tone. Maybe get some yellow ochre in there too. That'll help. Maybe some cad yellow. And then let's get some white and see what this does. So I got a little bit of every color in here. I just kind of lightened it up, so I don't know if this is going to be light enough. It looks like it could be. I'm going to come out here and just start, putting in little areas here. Like this, right across the tree. I'm not putting, too much of this in there, because I do want to change the color up just a little bit. Put a little bit. That's a lot right there, huh? Come in here, put some there like that. We can come right over to here like this and do the same thing. I'm just tapping some of this color in, and I'm like kind of going like this. I'm like dancing it back and forth. I'll probably make it just a little bit, maybe a little darker down towards the bottom. Just like that. I'm really just being like, you see how careless I'm being here? I'm not planning anything here. I'm just kind of like rolling with it, you know? That's all I'm doing. Just going with it. And I'm using like the darker color in my brush to like kind of smooth some of the things out so it's not so the edges aren't so sharp. Now I'm going to take a different, I'm actually pulling cad yellow here real quick, or light yellow, and actually, you know what? I'm going to wipe this off real quick. I'm going to wipe this off, and I'm just going to go right back into that straight yellow color and see if I can get some lighter areas over here. Let me try this. Okay, so our light's kind of right here, right? So I'm just going to, not too much of this though, because I don't want to just like, you know, I don't want it to be all the same color. I love different colors. Love them. Maybe some out on that edge there. Like that. I don't know, maybe we should have a few here too, possibly. Some stuff there. Now I gotta step back and see. Okay. Some stuff there, like that. Now at this point I'm just like talking to myself. I'm going to mix a little bit of red into this color. And maybe we can get a few little thingies, a little different color. Back to that yellow again. So here I'm just making a little ground area. This will be our final little, probably our final highlight on that. So it looks like there's a couple little hills and stuff in there, you know what I mean? This is not going to show through back here, but just for the sake of it, I'm going to put a couple little like layers back here. So this is technically, that's like the little bit of a ground going on back there. All right. I'm going to give this one last wipe off. And I'm going to pull through some white and yellow. It's going to be a little sloppy. Make it look like there's just some things happening there. We don't know really what it is, but boom, boom, boom. Little yellow things. I'm dipping straight into the pile of yellow at this point. So that's just like big glops of yellow on there. And if you want, you can smooth that out. But I had a ton of paint on here. Okay. So I just wiped my brush off. And I'm just going to slowly just tap some of this real quick just to kind of diffuse it a little bit. So when you're standing back 10 feet, that should just show like a little bit of color in it. Alright, but now since we just did that, I got to put a little bit of yellow here because it's just not going to look right if I don't. Okay. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the knife. I need some dark color. I got to get some dark color in here. So I got black blue. I'm going to take some of this red. Move that brush. I'm just going to use black, blue, red, maybe a little bit of green. Got me a little pile going here. Just set that right there. So I just got a real dark color, and I'm just being real lazy about this and kind of like real quick about it. I'm just going to start putting in, see this here? I'm just tapping. It's dark here. You don't have to do it all down here, but I'm just doing some here. Putting in this dark color. I'm just doing this and this and this all the way up here. Like that. I'm just going to get some of the paint down here, just so there's some of that oil there, so it's so it slides around. There's that. I gotta rip this paper towel off because I've wiped it too many times. It's a big mess. So now I rip the paper towel off after I wipe it 1,000 times, and then I fold it and I'll go like this and wipe the paint off. Then I'll start over with my roll again and all that stuff. All right, so I want to put this. I just want this to be little bushes and just different things in here. I'm gonna put a tree like right here. Before I do that, I'm going to pop in some of these bushes. So I'm going to make these bushes like a yellowish. Let me think about that. I'll probably start with a yellow color first. And just let me think about placement here. Maybe some there, like that. They don't have to be super bright. Get some yellow ochre on here. There's a lot of paint up on here too, so a lot of paint. Back into the yellow again. I'm going to get like a reddish green color too for some of this. So there's a couple of bigger bushes there. I am going to set this brush down, and I think I'm probably going to grab a new one, just so some of the colors are a little bit more pure and not so diluted. But I do have to do this first. I gotta map the rest of this bush out here. Now I'm going to take, I don't know if there should be some maybe some dirt or something in here, so I'm just going to grab some brown and some yellow. And then maybe just, I got to think about that for a minute. I'll just put it here for now. Actually, I'll just put some yellow there, yellow ochre, and then some brown. I'll see how I feel about that in a minute. My thoughts were a little area that you can walk through. Okay. Now I will say something. This particular paint definitely, it smells different than the paint that you may be used to. If you're using whether it's gambling or like the Bob Ross paint or anything like that, there's definitely a different smell. It's a little bit more stronger, which obviously you know that you're supposed to have good ventilation. And with any time you use oil paint, just keep that in mind. I'm just putting a little bit of a line right here, just because it is a black canvas. I don't know what's going to show through. Okay. Okay, so there's that. Actually, back to the dirty brush here into the dark. dirty brush that we got going on. And I definitely think we're gonna put a little bit of, that's gonna be like a little bit of dirt or something. So I'm just gonna smash in something here to work with. And then we're gonna have our tree right there. Keep stepping back too, by the way. All right, filbert. Let's grab a filbert, and we better get these trees in before that gets too. Before I cover this area up with too much paint or something, I just like to get the trees in. All right, and go from there. So I'm just using it's burnt umber and black because I'm trying to make the regular shade that I would normally use. All right, so I'm going to drop the first tree in right about here, just like this, and that tree comes down there. I'm going to make it much wider, bigger, because it's a bigger tree. Comes all the way down to right about there, I think. And then I'm going to close this edge in with another one right like this. Kind of frame it in, brown and black. Fill it right in, just like this. Okay, and it's dark, so you can be sloppy with it, and just the highlight is what will really define the tree. Okay, like this. Maybe there's some stuff in front of the tree too. I don't know. We'll see. All right, more brown. Give it like a branch or two, like this. Maybe this one comes like that. Now remember what I said, I'm flying through this, so don't, definitely take your time. When you're doing something, one of these paintings, take your time. Don't do what I'm doing unless you find satisfaction, in doing things, on a quicker scale, you know what I mean? Maybe it goes there like that. So you could shorten the tree up if you want. I gotta step back and take a look. Maybe, what do I want? Do I want one there? Yeah, there's a little something there. I don't know, maybe I might bring this tree down further. I gotta see. I think that's good. I think that's good for right now. So let's just slap some highlight on this tree. I'm just going to wipe the filbert off. And I think I'm going to take yellow, ochre, white, a little touch of brown and black, and we'll see what that does. I'm using the filbert, and I'm going to just hold it like this, I think, and I'm just going to run this highlight right all the way down the left side. Boom. Just like that. Put a little bit there too. Let's see how this works. Going to spread this out a little bit. Maybe I'll just grab some straight yellow ochre and just put it in a few areas like this. Maybe just a little. I don't want to put too much here on this other tree because this is like kind of in the dark. You know what I mean? Keep having to step back. All right, that don't look too bad. But I do got to put a little bit there like that. Something like that right there, I guess. yellow, ochre, and white. There's not too much, there is, I'm gonna put dirt here, but there's like not a bunch of highlight here, so I think I'm gonna put just a little bit maybe and see how I feel about it. I just don't want to take away from everything else in the picture. If you have too much, sometimes you could put too much highlight on something and it just doesn't look right. Okay. So I'm going to get a little bit of like a bluish gray color for here maybe, I don't know. Just see how that looks for now. Maybe this trail kind of like opens up a little bit at the end. Put some there like that. Okay, let me just step back. Try to get an idea of how this looks. All right, cool. We just got to put stuff in here now. So I'm gonna just wipe this 1 inch, the dirty one. I grabbed a new one, but I'm like, you know what? I think we're gonna be fine without it. So I'm just wiping I'm pulling the actual paint off of it at this point. So we're gonna put just a few things in right here. So I think I'm gonna just go with like a yellow color. Through. I'm kind of like out of yellow paint actually right now. So we'll just see if this even shows up good or not. It's gonna maybe I'll push up. See how that looks. I'm gonna get some yellow ochre too in there. So I just wanted to put something in here. Actually, let me do this. I'm going to grab this little fan brush right here. And I'm going to go like this. I'm just going to put some stuff right there like that. Maybe get some white, mix it in, some of these yellows and greens and weird colors like this. You want to leave a lot of dark, in your, area here because you want to be able to see the lighter colors too. Just like that. Some white. I'm going to get like a nice, just like a bluish green color real quick. I'm going to try something. I'm going to see how this looks. Just like an aqua color, I think. For like these areas here. Little things back there like that. Maybe like a little cool little shadow color or something just to kind of pop in and around. Okay. Get some there. Put some here. All right. Now I'm going to get some blue. I'm going to get blue and white just on the fan brush, and maybe I'm going to go. I'm going to pop in a little bit of this color here looks maybe like a little shadow color or something like that. I'm just playing at this point with colors. All right. So there we got that there. Blue color looks pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna wipe that off now. I just wiped the fan brush off. I got a big old mess going over here. Let's grab this dirty brush here and let's go into green. I'm gonna take just some green and some black. Green and black. It's not like the darkest green. It's like just a medium green. I'm gonna make some stuff right here. No, I'm not gonna do too much here, but I'm just gonna make a few little things right there like that, just to kind of close this in. I actually gotta close the top of this tree in so it looks right. Things there, and I keep tapping in, back and forth into here like this, right over the tree like that. Okay, come this way, put a few things there maybe. That. Come right across there. I already did that. Good. All right, let me just step back again. All right, so cool. We got some stuff there, right? And you probably don't want to go too crazy on the highlights on this one because you want it to stay dark. It'll help. So I'm going to take some yellow ochre and white, I think. Let's try that. Needs to be like a pure color though, so I'm going to mix some green in it too. Alright, so I got me a little green color mixed up, see that? But seriously, I wouldn't do too much of this because it'll definitely ruin some stuff. Okay. I'm just going to wipe this off real quick, and then I think I'm going to I'm going to set that down. I'm going to grab, where's it at? I'm going to get my liner brush. And I'm going to thin some of this paint down. I'm going to thin some of it down, and I'm going to try to make, I'll see about like some limbs on the tree maybe. Give me a nice little darker brown color here. Alright, so I'm just thinning that down real quick, and then just come right off here like this. You probably can't see that too good as I'm doing it, but you can check it here in a minute. I'll darken it just a hair. I'm actually almost using like just pure black and brown, really. Put some limbs there. You can put little thingies in here if you want, not too much over here. I mainly just wanted to put a few limbs on this tree right here. You can put a few coming off like that. let's just drag one right to the edge there. Maybe you can see that, maybe not. And I'll make it a little bit more thinner on here. I'm probably just going to go into some green and like yellow ochre and put in just a few little like blades of grass in here, maybe. You know, not too many, just a couple like here and there. This will just kind of help it get a little bit more detail, stuff like that. Put a few over here too, I guess. Thin down a little bit more paint, and I'm going to just scooch right here, I guess. Just pop my name on here real quick. All right, so I had to switch cameras because number one, I thought the ending was like a little weird because the angle that I was standing, I don't know if I'm going to end up cutting that out or sticking with it, because I kind of like mounted the microphone into a different spot, so because it was like getting on my chain in every video, so I got a little bit tired of that. It was making noise, and it was just, I like to try to perfect things the best that I can, considering I don't know that much, but I try to do what I can. So anyways, I relocated the microphone, and at the end of the video, I was like trying to talk, and I was like kind of standing like this, but like I said, maybe I'll keep it, maybe I won't. So this paint that I tried, I'm a fan of the paint that I use, which you guys already know that, but I wanted to test this out. The consistency is pretty good. The consistency of the paint, the thickness and stuff like that is good. I don't like the smell. It's a very strong smell, so you just have to kind of consider that. You know, I'll put links and stuff down there. I'm not affiliated, and I'm not getting paid for this video. This was just for me to try it out, and that was it. The canvas, I think the canvas was cool. But other than that, yeah, if you guys have any questions, just ask me in the comments down below or shoot me a message. Head over to Patreon. I'm trying to do some cool things over there. I started a Facebook group for the patrons the patrons. I started a Facebook group for the patrons. When they sign up, they go to the group and we can communicate and just do all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah, that's it. So hope you guys have a great day. See you soon in the next video. We're gonna do something a little bit better in the next video. This was just like a quick painting, you know, just like a quick, let's just see how it works, and let's just see if this stuff is any good or not. So, you know, I don't know if you guys would be interested in 2-hour videos. You have to let me know. I don't know. I'm trying to keep it like 30 minutes to an hour is what I've been trying to do. Let me know your thoughts. I try to take your feedback and read the comments, and then I try to determine what I'm going to do, you know, for the future videos. So you guys have to let me know. Make sure to leave a comment below. All right. See you guys later. Have a good day. Take care.